What is going on, guys? It is Dylan, and today I will be giving you guys the top 5 Huberman Lab episodes you need to watch if you want to improve your life. Life gets crazy, life gets stressful, I know. Not everyone has the time to watch every single Huberman Lab episode. But don't worry, because I did it for you, and now you'll have the top 5 that you can watch to improve your life in a better way.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah.
If you found this video at all helpful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're by chance a fan of the Huberman Lab podcast and you disagree with my list, then please comment your top 5 down below and then give me a little explanation of why. I would love to hear from you about what your favorite ones are and why they helped you improve your own life. And if you're by chance not a viewer of the Huberman Lab podcast and you just clicked on this out of curiosity, well, Dr. Huberman is a professor of neurobiology and ophthalmology at Stanford University, and he creates educational podcasts that give us somewhat of like a secret code to improving our lives. It's like these life hacks and information and educational basis that just makes it so you can just attack these issues in your life that you might not have seen as a way or had any room to improve on, and it's exponentially, just maximally improved after one episode. It is incredible how well it works, so please, after this, go check out a few of these. And now, starting with my number 5. And that episode is how to control your metabolism by thyroid and human growth hormone. And you might be saying, well, what's so important about metabolism? That was in your top 5 episodes of all time. Well, metabolic age is actually incredibly important. We all sometimes know or think about that one person that's 60 years old but looks 35. Well, chances are they have a very low metabolic age. And as you age, all these things associated with age, like not recovering from injury or aches and pains or just low, hormones that you might have had when you were younger, are all associated with metabolism. So being able to stimulate these certain hormones that regulate your metabolism and improve it in many cases are like incredibly beneficial. And the supplementation, the regimens, the mechanisms that are all provided in this episode make it so you can control your metabolism in a way that maximally benefits your life. You're able to grow muscle better. You're able to burn fat better. You're able to just have more energy throughout the day and just function as a whole. And that's just overall wonderful. So it's just like a overall basis of improving your life, really, in this one single episode. And next, we'll be on to another one that's somewhat related to the physical body, and this is Huberman and Andy Galpin's episode together on how to build muscle size and strength. And again, you guys might be saying, how is that important to everybody's life? Well, it is more important than you think. And honestly, if I could choose to just do every single episode of Andy Galpin and Huberman together as this, 4th choice, I would have done it, because every single episode with Huberman and Galpin are just absolutely incredibly on point and wonderful. They have a great flow and they contrast each other well. It's absolutely beautiful, educational, so informative, and it's just a way to attack every single physical goal at much more speed than you were before. But muscle size and strength, why is it important for everybody? Well, having muscle and being able to have, strength in your muscles as well is incredibly important as we age. Not only is it, I think pretty aesthetically pleasing, but it keeps you from deteriorating. It makes it so your body is not going to hurt and ache because you're able to just perform basic function. But many people strength train, many people go to the gym, and the understanding of how to build strength and size, which are different training models, is completely flawed. I mean, I talk to people at the gym, they don't know what hypertrophy is, which is growing muscles, which is acknowledged in this video. They don't know the differences in training for size or strength. And when I explain it to them, they're odd, and they're just so excited that they have some new training plan to work on, because maybe one day they want to work on size, maybe one day they want to work on strength. Well, this episode dials it in so well, and they both have so much quality information. Andy Galpin in this one is like a superstar. When it comes to anything physical, Andy Galpin's kind of like Jesus. I mean, he's incredible. But Huberman, with his questions and his contrast and his concerns, his curiosity is wonderful. They just go so well together. Just overall as a podcast episode, it's wonderful, but the information for building a physical backbone to your everyday life is crucial, and it really will help you. I hope you check this one out, please. But now on to number 3, and that's how to optimize and leverage dopamine. Okay, well, when we think about dopamine, many people think about substances. They think about, maybe different things in their life like food addiction or pornography addiction that might cause, these elevated levels of dopamine that could be somewhat unhealthy. But once you learn how to control it, and the mechanisms provided by Dr. Huberman in this episode is wonderful, because you can think about increasing your baseline dopamine on just an overall average level. And when you're just regularly having more dopamine and learning how to control not chasing those other dopamine highs that will be 100% unhealthy, you're living an overall better life that is so incredibly wonderful, and the mechanisms, the information provided help you do that. So if you're struggling with any sort of addiction, you're struggling with any sort of depression, anxiety, any sort of mental deterioration, this one is important, because learning how to just control your dopamine, elevate your mood, your happiness, your just cognitive state of mind, and not necessarily chase these things that give us those large spikes to where we come back to a low baseline and have a higher baseline of dopamine, wonderfully helpful. And please go check it out, especially if you're struggling with one of those things I just mentioned. Number 4. This one is, there's not a person out there that couldn't benefit from this. It's just across the board. It's necessary. It should be required in some sort of, grade 1 through 12 schooling. At some point, people should have to sit down and watch this. And this is tools for managing stress. Life is stressful. I said that at the beginning of this video. Everyone gets stressed out. It's just the nature of life. But people that really succeed, really grow, really persevere, they know how to control that stress or just push through it. But this episode is all catered to, first, an understanding of what causes our stress, which is another wonderful thing about Huberman's episodes, is it lets you understand what causes the bad thing, and then gives you a process and mechanisms to attack that. And with stress, he paints it wonderfully. You have a solid understanding of the just neuropaths that are aligned with stress, the mechanisms that cause you to get stressed, but then how to control that stress or lower that stress. And whether it's breathing or meditation or whatever it is, it's helpful. Beyond explanation, my words can't put it into picture. Once you start to apply the little tricks, the secret codes that I've talked about from these episodes, your life is going to improve. And if you've already watched Huberman's episodes, you know that already. So I'm just repeating myself for some reason. But if you have any stress, which I'm sure you do, please check out this episode if you have not. And now, we are on to number 1, the most important, and many of you probably guessed this. Let me know if you guessed this down below so I know the true Huberman fans, because, I hope there's a lot out there. But number 1 is the sleep toolkit, optimize sleep and sleep-wake timing. This episode honestly changed my life. 100%, everything in my life got better after this episode. There is no argument, hands down, it is true. Now, there's been a pretty large trend of improving sleep over the past couple years, but I like to think that Huberman really set it off and kind of got it into motion. There were many people working on it and vocal about it, but I would say one of the first people to really get traction over the importance of sleep and utilizing these tools for improving sleep was Dr. Andrew Huberman. And if you struggle with getting quality sleep, whether it's amount of sleep, quality sleep, you need to watch this episode. The amount of information, the amount of possibilities to improve your sleep are endless in this episode. There is so much in here that you can use and apply to your everyday life. If you can do these things for only a few days, even just the first day, you see just insane improvement in your everyday quality of life. I promise you. Please check out this episode 100%. It's going to improve your life, even if you can only apply a little bit of what he says into your sleep regimen. It's just going to like skyrocket your quality of life. And that's what we like to do here on this channel. We like to improve ourselves. We want to be the best humans we can be, and we need to be 100% charged if we're going to do that. So, Andrew Huberman's Sleep Toolkit helps us do that. Please let me know if you do check out any of these episodes and if you found it helpful, and especially if you started utilizing anything in these episodes to improve your life. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you for your time, and again, let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow.